All right, my dears, here we are on a Tuesday, and we're going to do some yoga. So today we'll work a little bit with the core, and we're going to do kind of a slow and steady flow, and some good stretching on the hamstrings, the quads, all the legs, the hips, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we'll start by allowing ourselves to be comfortable in a seat. So for me, that always means to have a cushion. And just notice, do you like to sit back on your heels? Do you like to sit in a cross-legged position? What feels useful to you? And we'll gently rock forward and back, side to side a little bit so that we can feel the connection to the ground, to the earth, to this land, the land here in the Pacific Northwest of the Coast Salish people, including the Duwamish tribe. And our ability to connect with our own earth bodies and to accept these earth bodies as they are right now. That for me feels like such a deep practice. Some days I feel great in my body. I feel good about being a large woman. I feel good about being strong, you know, all is kind of well. And then other days, I don't feel that way at all. I feel my age, I feel my weight, I feel discouraged, I feel kind of those internal voices that are those internalized oppression, you know, the voice that says that you're not enough, the voice that says you should be different than the body you're in. And it's those days in particular that we need these practices the most, that bring us back to center, that bring us back to truth, that bring us back to the understanding that we are fundamentally worthy of love. That is our birthright, to feel our inherent dignity, to feel that sense of belonging in our identity, in the bodies we're in. When we do that, when we come back home to the truth of belonging, to the truth of our being, instead of our doing or our should be doings, our being, then we can show up more fully for the earth, develop a relationship with the land that is one of reciprocity, with the water that is one of reciprocity, that is honoring of life, with plants and animals, with ourselves and each other. And in that small way, us doing our own work to come back home to our own sense of belonging allows us to create a more equitable world. We have to start within. So there's a mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And it translates loosely to, may my actions in some way support the freedom and happiness of all beings. So it's very accountable. Yeah? Sometimes those actions are being more tender with ourselves, creating freedom and happiness in our own being. So we'll chant this mantra 3 times. Please join me if you like. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Let's inhale and reach our arms out and up. On the exhale, leaning to our left. So this side bend to the left. might grab your own head, or you might reach through those right fingertips. Try to root down through that right hip and right knee. Take a couple breaths here. And then inhale back to center and over to the right, reaching through the left fingertips, or you can grab your own head, whatever works for you. And inhale back to center, twisting to the left. Maybe your right hand goes outside that left knee, or maybe it rests somewhere else on the right leg. See what works. Drawing the belly in just to lengthen and support the low back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale back to center. We'll come forward just a little and kind of sway side to side, feeling into those hips perhaps, or your low back. See what you feel. And breathe. Inhale all the way back up. And palms to the heart. Let's come on to our backs. Dun, 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 dun. The core. So we're going to start subtle. And then you see where you want to take it. Drawing our knees in, up over our belly or chest. And doing a few little knee circles here in one direction. And then a few in the other direction. I'm going to put on a little bit of music here. And then we'll bring our knees slightly to the right. Bring your knees towards you, then away from you. Back to center and slightly to the left. Bring the knees towards you and away from you. Inhale back to center, slightly to the right. Bring the knees towards you and away from you. Inhale back to center. Bring the knees to the left, towards you, and away from you. Inhale back to center. Now, some of you might straighten the legs. Bring straight legs or bent knees slightly to the right, towards you, and away from you. Back to center. Over to the left, just a little, towards you, away from you. Inhale back to center. Over to the right, just a little, towards you, away from you. Inhale back to center. To the left, towards you, away from you. Inhale back to center, point your toes. Start to draw small circles with your legs. Draw your belly in, feel your sacrum root down to the floor. And then medium circles. Draw the belly in, feel the core working here. And then large circles. And then large circles the other direction. Medium circles. Small circles. And then happy baby pose, maybe reaching for your toes or somewhere else on your feet. Maybe turning your toes out a little bit here. And then interlacing the fingers behind your head. Bring your head up and your elbows toward your knees. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbows and knees toward each other. Inhale, lengthen out. Elbows toward knees. Lengthen, inhale. Elbows toward knees. And lengthen and curl up. And we'll do this for a little while. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Draw your belly in, squeeze your pelvic floor. And release. Soles of the feet come together, knees open. So because the core is more than just the belly, it's also the inner leg line, even the low back, we'll do some things to support that. So bring your knees halfway up, all the way together. Halfway open, all the way open. So lift, lift, open, open. And we'll do this for a little while. At first, the awareness is likely on your inner thighs and groin. Yeah, you might feel some sensation there. Feel those muscles working. And then the invitation is to really draw your belly and keep your low back on the floor. And then start to do the same motion, but you might feel it more in your low belly. The low belly can really help here. Drawing the belly in strongly, and it almost becomes more about the low belly, the core, than even the inner thighs or groin. See what is true for you, and we'll do this for a little while. And then keep your knees open this next time for a few breaths and just let the stretch come. Let your belly relax, let your low back have its natural curve. And then right ankle on the left knee, a figure 4. Draw your legs up, interlace the fingers behind your head, curl up and go side to side, side to side, side to side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, thread the needle. You can hold on to this right leg, or you can reach between the legs to the back of that left thigh, whatever feels more useful. And then half happy baby, holding onto that right leg, extend through the left leg, point through the toes, and then flex the heel. So it's like a point and a flex. Hopefully you'll feel the front of that left hip. And then reach your left arm up overhead. We'll inhale here. Exhale, bring your leg up to the sky. Reach up, try to touch your toe. Inhale, lengthen out. Head goes down, arms and leg go down. Exhale, curl up. Head lifts up. Try to reach and touch your left toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl up. One more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl up. And then just lengthen out and stay there for a few breaths. And then left ankle, right knee in that figure 4 type of shape. Feet are up, interlace the fingers behind your head, curl up and go side to side, side to side, side to side. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, 2, 1. Come down, thread the needle. Noticing that left hip. Half happy baby on this left leg, straightening that right leg out, pointing and flexing through that right foot. Reaching that right arm up overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the leg, curl up, touch your right toes. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, curl up. Lengthen, inhale. Curl up. Last one, lengthen. Curl up. And then lengthen and stay there for a few breaths. And then let's release this. We're going to come over onto one side and onto hands and knees. So our knees are directly underneath our hips and our wrists are underneath our shoulders. Push into the earth, feel your shoulder blades broaden, tuck your toes under, and then start to pull your wrists towards your knees towards your wrists, but you're not going to move because you're on a sticky mat and you draw your belly in. And that should feel like core. Now, if you wanted to, you could lift your knees 1 inch off the mat. That's not what I'm going to do because this is more than enough in my body. But if you wanted to, you could, and we're still pulling and pushing and feeling everything fire up in the center. So all those muscles around the core, the low back, underneath the arms, drawing the shoulders down, your lats, all of it working, working, working. Let's take 5 more breaths. You might start to shake. Doesn't look like much, but it's a lot. Three more breaths. We got it. And then downward facing dog. Let's walk forward to our hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Mountain pose. We'll stay here. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, let's reach our arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. And deep breath in. Knees might come down. Shift your weight forward. Lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Hold forward, exhale. Rise up. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank. Knees might come down. Shift forward, lower halfway or all the way down, chaturanga. Cobra, inhale. Or up dog. Downward facing dog. Walk or hop to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Mountain pose. Arms up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, plank, chaturanga, cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Mountain pose. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, reach your arms up. Lean to the left. Bring that right shoulder away from your ear. Ground down through the outer right foot. Inhale back to center. Lean to the right. Root through the left outer edge of the foot. Left shoulder down. Inhale back to center. Cactus the arms, shine the heart up. Send the hips forward, bend your knees a little. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Right leg lifts. Draw the right knee in toward your belly, chest or nose. Lift. Right knee toward right arm. Lift. Right knee toward left arm. Lift. Step the foot forward. Back knee comes down to the floor. Low lunge. Bring your right outer hip down. Tuck your tail, send your hips forward and your heart up. Arms reach up, shoulders go down. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale here. Twist high, left arm in front, right arm behind. Inhale back to center. Frame the front foot, straighten just the front leg, flex the toes up toward the sky. Send your hips back, your heart forward. Deep breath in. Long breath out. And then sit back onto your heels. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, come forward into child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Draw your knee in toward your belly, chest, or nose. Lift. Left knee toward left elbow. Lift. Left knee toward right elbow. Lift. Foot steps forward, low lunge, back knee is down. Left outer hip down. Tuck your tail. Arms reach up. Send your hips forward and your heart up. Tuck your tail. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale here. Twist high, right arm in front. Inhale back to center. Frame that front foot and straighten the front leg. Flex the toes up to the sky. Half splits. Think of sending your hips back and your heart forward. And then swinging that leg around, sitting back onto your heels. Inhale, arms reach up. Fold forward, child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Rise all the way up. Mountain pose. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Down dog. Right foot steps forward, back heel goes down, warrior one. As you come up, again, outer right hip goes down. Root through that pinky toe edge side of your back foot. Draw your left hip forward. Slightly tuck your tail. Arms reach up, heart lifts. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Back heel down. Warrior one. Left outer hip down. Right outer hip forward. Then the front knee, slightly tuck the tail, reach the arms and heart up. Inhale here. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog or sit back on your heels or child's pose. However you'd like to rest. 5 breaths. Walk or hop when you're ready to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Lean to the right. Inhale, center. Lean to the left. Inhale, center. Chair. Deep breath in. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Down dog your way. Right leg goes high. Bend your knee and open your hip. Inhale here. Step the foot forward for warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. One more. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. And then maybe a half bind here. 3 more breaths. And then we'll cartwheel our hands forward, down dog your way. Left leg lifts. Bend your knee, open your hip. Breathe in. Warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. One more. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Maybe a half bind. And then, my dears, cartwheel the hands forward, down dog your way, your way. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise. Lean to the left. Inhale, center. Lean to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair. Stay for an inhale. Fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Down dog your way. Right leg lifts. Bend the knee and open the hip. Inhale here. Step the foot forward, warrior 2. Straighten that right leg. Reach beyond your toes. Keep that hand like that as you come into triangle. And then bring the right hand to maybe gently touch the shin. Back to warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Down dog your way. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee and open the hip. Step that foot forward, warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Reach beyond the toes. Keep your left hand like that as you come in a triangle. And then maybe gently touch your shin. Come back, warrior two. Inhale, exalted. Down dog your way. And then we'll shift forward into plank and we can put our knees down. Forearms come down, forearm plank. So knees can be up or down. Side forearm plank. So right side, right knee could be down. Left leg could lift. Left arm lifts. Back to forearm plank. Knees could be up or down. Onto the left side, forearm plank. Left knee could be down or up. Right arm up, maybe right leg up. Back to forearm plank, knees could be up or down. And then my dears, dolphin, tucking your toes under, hips high. Child's pose. And then my dear, sitting back on your heels. Your right hand reaches up and pats you on the back. Your left hand might grab a hold of that right elbow and draw it in close to your head and back. Your right palm might go between your shoulder blades. Your left hand now reaches around your left forearm, might lengthen the low back, stand up onto your knees. And lengthen your low back with that left hand and forearm and begin to lean back into your right arm. Draw your belly in, send your hips forward and your heart up. And then sit back on your heels, release your hands. Left hand reaches up, bend your elbow, pat yourself on the back. Right hand might come and scoot that left elbow in and back. Left palm might go between the shoulder blades. Right arm reaches around the forearms by the low back, stand up onto your your knees. Lengthen your low back, push down. Begin to lean back, hips go forward. Head leans back, heart goes up, belly draws in. Release and sit back on your heels. Notice. And then come up onto your knees. Toes might be a little bit wider than your knees. Hands might rest on your low back, palms, fingertips facing down, shoulders hug in, elbows hug in. Lengthen your back, send your hips forward and your heart up. Where you might stay, or you might reach your arms up, or you might interlace them behind your head, or you might reach back for your heels, whatever works. Camel pose. How can we stay out of the low back, into the upper back, getting the back bend in the mid to upper back. Slowly sitting back on your heels and just noticing the energy that's moving in your body. When you're ready, my friends, downward facing dog. Let's lift our right leg to the sky. Step the right foot forward between the hands and lift the left leg up. Walk your thumbs to face forward and back in line with your big toe. Bring your left outer hip down. And then walk your hands forward. Lengthen out the spine and draw that knee in toward your nose. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, gather in. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, gather in. Then lengthen out and step the toes back, back heel down, warrior one. Right outer hip down and back, left outer hip forward. Arms reach up. Heart lifts, shoulders down. And then straighten that front leg. Reach behind your back for opposite wrists or elbows. With a flat back, shoulders back. Come forward for pyramid pose. Bowing your head towards your shin. Release your hands. Down dog your way. Left leg lifts. Draw that foot between your hands. Lift your right leg up.
so that your thumbs face forward in line with your big toe, right outer hip down, forehead towards your shin. And then walking your fingertips forward, lengthening out the spine, inhale. Exhale, draw the right knee in toward your belly or nose. Lengthen, inhale. Gather in, exhale. Lengthen, gather in. Lengthen the leg out, set the foot down. Warrior one. Left outer hip down. Right outer hip forward. Arms up, hard up, shoulders down. Reach behind your back for opposite wrists or elbows. Straighten that front leg. Pyramid. Flat back. Forehead towards chin. Release your hands. Down dog, your way. Shifting forward into plank. Knees can come down. Come to your forearms, forearm plank. Knees up or down. Onto your left side, forearm side plank. Left knee can be down. Back to forearm plank. Knees up or down. Onto the right side, forearm plank on the right. Right knee could be down. Left leg could lift. Back to forearm plank, knees up or down. We're going to lower onto our belly, Sphinx pose. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to chest. Several more times. And then settling into Sphinx. Elbows under the shoulders. Draw the belly in, even though you're on it, it's kind of weird. Shoulders away from the ears. Bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand for your right foot. Draw that heel in toward the booty and tuck your tail, stretching the front of the right thigh. The more the right knee comes in towards center, whew, and the more you tuck your tail, the more interesting it might get. And then kick that foot into your hand. You can lift your left elbow or keep it down, half bow. And then we'll come back down and stretch that quad just a little bit more. And then, my dears, we'll switch sides. So before we do, let's come back to Sphinx for a few breaths. And then bending that left knee, reaching back with your left hand for your left foot, gathering that knee in towards center, tucking your tail under, and then heel toward the booty. And then kick the foot into the hand, come up half bow. So you could lift your right elbow, you don't need to. And then hugging that heel in toward the booty again, tucking the tail, coming down. And then, my dears, releasing that. Come back to Sphinx where you might stay. I'm going to offer several different variations today. So you might stay here, or you might walk your knees wide, lift your feet, bring the soles of your feet together. And you could even lift your elbows here. Or you could bend your knees and reach back for both of your feet or ankles and kick your feet into your hands for bow pose. Whatever works for your body today. I'm going to stay with this one. So a lot of core, we don't think about back strengthening, but that has a lot to do with our core actually. And something that maybe doesn't feel like the biggest thing you've ever done in your life, like what I'm doing right now, can be extremely strengthening because we can hold it without much effort or without much struggle. There's definitely effort. And then when you're ready, release whatever shape you have, and we'll come to child's pose. And then, my dears, when you're ready, we're going to come to pigeon pose. So maybe you come from down dog. Take a few breaths there. Lift your right leg up. Draw your knee forward for pigeon. So your right knee lines up with your right wrist. And then start to tuck your back toes under and inch your back leg back. Begin to look over your right shoulder. Maybe you can even inch that left knee back a tiny bit more, or even in towards center. And then coming onto our forearms, perhaps. Just notice where you feel this. It's often in the right outer hip, but I feel my hamstring, I feel my groin. The front of the left hip. Notice what's true for you and breathe. And then is it possible to stay for another 10 or 15 breaths here and just kind of settle into the pose, the rhythm of your breath, making adjustments as you need to. And then, my dears, we'll adjust ourselves to switch to the other side. So I like to inch myself forward because I got myself back pretty far before coming back to down dog, and then pedal is what I like to do, but some people like to lift the leg and shake it out. And then our left leg lifts and the left knee draws toward that left wrist. And then we'll tuck the back toes under and inch the back knee back, and maybe in towards center. Look left. Woo. Notice the difference between the sides. There likely is one. And then settle in. And then when we're ready on this side, we might just swing our legs around and come onto our backs. Or if you wanted to go back through down dog and shake it out in some sort of way, you can. We'll make ourselves warm enough now. Once we arrive on our back, we'll do those same little knee circles one direction, and then the knee circles the other direction. And then twisting to the right. There could always be a pillow between your knees here. And then back to center, my dears, and twisting to the left. And then coming back to center and any final poses. So sometimes shoulder stand is a lovely way to end. For me, shoulder stand is not very kind to my body. And so I'm going to just place a block or a bolster here underneath my sacrum and legs straight up to the sky. And then as you're ready, making our way to Shavasana, corpse pose. And just notice where you might feel energy in your body and allow yourself to soften. All right, my dears, when you're ready, we're going to come back to a seat. And palms come to our heart in whatever shape seems useful to you right now.
When we come back home to our bodies and move some energy, we can truly metabolize thoughts, emotions, even trauma. So it starts this process of self-healing and creating a little bit more peace in our own nervous system. We come from a more settled place. And in that small way, we create more peace in the world. In that spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Irini, Shiakan, Jam, Pache, Paz. In the spirit of our collective liberation, we say Ashe, Amin, Amen, blessed be, Kapu Aloha, in Lakech, Satnam, Namaste, Matakwayasan, Black Lives Matter.